Cracked rail that snarled the Bay Area commute. Right now, BART trains are running again, but the damage is done to the commute. Expect serious delays as a crush of people try to get home. Good evening, I'm Alan Martin.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. The problem triggered delays system-wide, but it's centered on a cracked rail in San Francisco between the Civic Center and 16th Street mission stations.
Chopper 5 live over San Francisco right now. The busy commute is underway. People trying to get home, both above and below ground.
KPIX 5's Phil Mateer joins us live with the small problem, leaving such a huge impact on the Bay Area. Phil?
That's right. The problem was discovered about 9:20 this morning. A crack, a break in the railway, as you said, in the heart of downtown San Francisco, on one of the two main tracks that feed in and out of the city. It triggered a domino of delays all the way to the East Bay, leading to backups for hours for some people, and wasn't resolved until 4 o'clock this afternoon, just as the main evening commute was starting. So we sat down with the BART officials and others and said, what could they do about it? Here's what they said.
We just don't have the extra tracks needed to work around something like this.
We have the system that we have as a result of our geography, as a result of the bridges, where we don't have a spare 1,000 buses just laying around in case something goes down.
It was meant to serve commuters at half the amount of ridership we're seeing now.
And that's right, all of the Bay Area system transportations are stretched to the max. So today is just another example of what we've seen in the last year or so and could be seeing again in the future. We'll be talking more about that in the 6th. Back to you, Liz.
Yeah, it's amazing what such a small problem can create such a huge issue. All right, Phil, thank you. While all this was going on, another problem, a power outage in the East Bay stopped trains between the Bayfair station and Castro Valley. Workers walked the tracks to figure out what caused the outage. Turns out a PG&E transformer got overloaded and blew at 2:30 near the Bayfair station. Power and service was restored an hour later.
Well, our Ryan Takeo got an earful from frustrated commuters stuck in the mess. He's at the Montgomery Street station. Ryan?
That's right, and we've been seeing a lot of this today, Alan. Just folks waiting here for BART trains to arrive. The system's still recovering, and to add to it, the Giants game let out in the past hour. So that's not going to make this commute home any easier. But we've seen a lot of people sitting and waiting for these trains to get here, heading to the East Bay.
It's a pain in the butt.
It's a little ridiculous. It's really irritating.
BART riders were irritable, but could you blame them? The busy morning commute crowds dragged on through the afternoon.
But I didn't know it was going to be this bad.
Erica left Pleasanton for work in the city this morning. She hit a wall at the Montgomery station where excruciatingly slow single-track service began.
Because now I have to wait 20 minutes to get the next train.
It ended up being faster for her to walk.
Yeah, he's late. He's late probably an hour right now.
We waited another 20 minutes with James as he waited for his friend Mark to come in from Orinda.
What's the time? Oh yeah, 1:20. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm from England, where public transport in London's pretty spot on, and San Francisco is a bit behind the times, I think.
A day full of late arrivals, leaving commuters searching for other options.
You're gonna have to deal with this on the way back too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe I can get a friend to pick me up.
You could ask a friend, you could call for an Uber, but if you do, you'd be facing surge pricing. I just checked in the last 10 minutes, and you would pay 1.5 times what you would normally pay if you call for an Uber right now. That's how much demand there is. Live in San Francisco at the Montgomery Street BART station, I'm Ryan Takeo, KPIX 5.
Now let's take a live look at the Transbay Terminal in San Francisco. We sent this camera out, one of our employees, on her commute home to Oakland. At least 50 people waiting in line right now to get on an AC Transit bus. Muni and AC Transit, by the way, honoring BART tickets. We'll continue to follow the story, bring you updates a little later in the newscast.